Miami's dead, man. I don't even fucking.
Well, Miami has bigger problems, I think. Like
They
they
got
just
cocaine.
they don't even have fans. They don't
They
have a
have
fan
floods.
base.
They have
I don't
hurricanes.
I don't even know. I feel like at some point, like when do you just end the Miami Marlins? Because it's like after two World Series rings, after several of these rebuilds where you've gotten so many big name players. After that bullshit after a new park, one of the most expensive ballparks ever created in the history of the major league, baseball history, that bullshit you put in center field and then you took it away. I don't know. I feel like when do you just end the Marlins as a franchise? All the bullshit trades that they've made over the years that should have been damn right illegal. That like first off that Jose Reyes trade. Um, it's just a whole bunch of bullshit. Like, when do you just end the Miami Marlins as a franchise?
Dude, think
Like,
about some
going
of
from Florida to Miami for what? Like, why did you have to go from Florida to Miami?
and think about some of the talent they've had. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just the same thing. Yeah, and
Like,
dude,
oh,
Yeah.
let's celebrate something. Let's just hope that pizzazz.
the whole rebranding changed nothing. They're still in the bottom of the division. And think about it, they have had Stanton, Yelich, Ozuna, Realmuto, all those guys in like the last 6 years, and they're all gone. It's
When your
crazy.
franchise troubles outweighs the fact that you've literally won two World Series in the last
Yeah.
30 years, that's embarrassing.
The same could be said about the A's, though. If you look at their roster, if you look at their 2021 roster, it's basically gone by now. They're all left there in free agency or got traded away.
Shit, because I saw to the
Nah,
Cardinals
that's
something like
well, yeah. His brother got signed to the Cardinals, Wilson. But William was
Oh.
traded to the Brewers. Oh, wow. Yo,
Brother
I
and
just
play each
realized
other.
that the brothers are about to be beefing. Because the one brother's on the Brewers and the other brother's on the Cardinals now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's crazy. For me, my thing that I'm gonna say
dope.
once we get to Wilson, like I gotta talk about the fact that like why the Cardinals? Like I want to know how that even started. I want to know like where that even
He wrote a letter.
came about. Huh?
He wrote a letter.
What do you mean?
He wrote a letter. Why?
To the Cardinals?
To the fans. Why he went to the Cardinals?
Why did he go to the Cardinals?
oh yeah, he did. Saying that
Does he like?
fell in
Come
love
on.
with Albert Pujols hitting a fucking ding dong and was like, I have to play for them.
No way. No, this,
No.
you definitely saw this on like Ballsack Sports or something.
No.
Like,
Nah, look it up. Fact check it. I'll tell
No
you what it
way.
is. Get ready to fact check it. Tell me when
You're talking about Contreras, right?
Yeah. Why he signed with
Yeah, he
Cardinals?
said because he saw Albert Pujols hit his home run and he wanted to be a Cardinal.
He said because Yachty was his role model.
Oh, I didn't see that. I saw about
He said
Albert
because
Pujols.
Yachty was his role model.
But that makes sense too.
So he went to the Cardinals.
I thought it was because
yeah,
he just
you're
wanted to be
right. I
around
did
strong
see
white
that.
men.
Ah! What did you say, Wulfy?
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I thought he was his fucking role model.
Of course, he's
What
from
the
Puerto
fuck?
Rico.
I thought it was because he wanted to be around strong white men. But all right, yo, y'all ready? All right, 3, 2, 1. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers! No, just a minute. Sacks me. Okay, 1 second. 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to the Built Different podcast. I'm here with my. Okay, hold on. 3, 2. Hold on 1 second. Welcome everybody to the Built Different podcast. I'm your host Thomas Saxby with all my other beautiful hosts. I got Wulfy, I got Not So White Chris, I got your favorite Uber driver, Poppy Devante, and we're here with High and Inside episode 13. We're here ready to do it again. It's almost Christmas, as you can see in the background. I got a tree, a little dinky tree. Don't judge me, but you know it's Christmas time. So Wulfy, open us up, man. What you got? We got a lot going on.
Bro, I was gonna say the Christmas season came early already for Mets fans, man. Like you guys saw the news already. We've signed so many guys recently, and just even in like the last
Look at
couple
Chris.
hours, there's a rumor going on we might get Carlos Correa. Like I know it's just a rumor. I'm not getting my hopes up, but like it is so
Correa and Lindor. Oh my god.
bro. Like I said, I don't even want to get my hopes up because that would just be like mind blowing having that in the lineup.
It's gonna happen. I said it here first. We're gonna bring Puerto Rico to New York, and we're gonna take over the world.
Yeah, I got my phone here. It can happen midstream. I'm feeling. But yeah, they play in the World Baseball Classic, so like they have been teammates before. But no, it's just so good to see an owner finally spending some money, and like I mean, he's doing it like breaking records. I mean, I'm not saying that every year, but just to finally go from like cheap Wilpon Mets to Steve Cohen's like just getting whatever the hell he wants, it's just such a refreshing feeling. So I'm feeling good, yo. I'm waiting for the season to start already. Let's go.
Are you saying
Yeah,
you
man.
didn't want DeGrom?
I was just gonna say that right now. He clearly didn't spend enough.
Yeah, I mean, like, I did want DeGrom back, but I can understand the parting. And, like, you know what? It's not like we gave Verlander, like, 5 years or something. So in a couple more years, or even maybe next year, if we get Shohei, you know, the wounds will heal, and I'll just kind of move on to, like, the next shiny thing. I'll be honest, I'm just going to move on to the next shiny thing, if you want my honest answer.
Sound like a Yankees
Yeah.
fan.
Feels good for
I'm on the
once.
side of during this free agency this offseason, I'm honestly genuinely surprised. I'm on this roller coaster again as a Nationals fan. My team sucks. We're not doing anything exciting. I mean, Trevor Williams, you know, very solid signing. Candelario, you know, I appreciate it. You know, cool, great. Make it look like, you know, we give a fuck or whatever. But you know, I'm just shocked. I see teams like, you know, for example, you know, Baltimore. I see teams like Seattle. You know, I see teams like Chicago, the White Sox. You know, teams like that. I wish they were doing a little bit more. Wish they were getting a little bit aggressive. I see, you know, because it's like, how does Trea Turner end up somewhere? Like, how does he end up in Philly? How does Xander end up in San Diego? How does that? How do they not end up on some of these other teams that should be getting aggressive? That's really my opening take. Is I really wish some of these other teams would get more aggressive because the door is closing on one of the best off seasons, and there is still a lot of fish left to get. And I hope some of these fish are going to go to some of these other teams because, like I said, I mean, Baltimore, their biggest mistake always is not being aggressive at the right time. And as I open this offseason up on one of our first episodes in the offseason, it was my favorite rumor was that, you know, that they were going to be aggressive. And here they are. They've gotten a couple of, you know, broken down old men pitchers that we know aren't really going to – I don't even know their names. It's Kyle Gibson and some other dude. But we know they're not going to really, you know, mean much at the end of the day in Baltimore. They said they wanted veteran starting pitchers. They got the wrong ones. That's my point.
They got the
What's
wrong
up,
ones.
Devante?
What's true too is that there's a lot of these teams that like could use these like big stars that like they have the money. Like why not just like get the guys that could fill your needs? Like there's no there's no reason not to. Like what are you waiting for?
Well, my thing is like the Mariners. It's like you see the Astros just easily get Jose Abreu, and it's
You know-
like
You know what I also think though is I think that it's more so with some of the offers that the Padres offered to like Trea Turner, you know, I think more so it's the players. The players are having more choice as to where they want to go, and you know we saw, you know, Trea Turner took less money from the Phillies than was offered by the Padres, so that might have to do with with the stars kind of just picking wherever they want to go.
Judge.
so. That's an
Same
interesting question that I have for you guys. Is there something that you guys think is turning people away from San Diego in general? Because you see that they're like overpaying like everybody. Like they're throwing money like overly at everybody. Like Xander got an 11-year deal. I'm not saying that's an overpayment, but
You know who it is? Hate to say it. Fernando Tatis.
think so?
Hell yeah.
You think people don't want to play with Tatis?
You know,
They
that's
probably
not-
get
that's
to get
actually a
popped with
good point.
steroids in their hair. They're probably scared that Tati's gonna come and give him this new Head and Shoulders product that's gonna come all laced and everything.
Expensive insurance, but two ways, like
I was gonna say the
Tatis
state
or
tax
if Soto
definitely
goes next
hurts.
year.
I was gonna say because Aaron Judge's
Double
best offer
insurance.
was, I believe, from San Diego. Trea Turner's best
Is
offer
that
was from San
uniform?
Diego.
The uniform they got is fucking garbage. Respectfully, I say that.
I mean,
That's fair.
I don't
Brown.
hate their jerseys.
I mean, we
You
can't
think I'm that big? Look, yo, hold on.
You know,
Show them.
I don't.
Yo, my girl disrespecting me and says that I fit in these fucking pants. Look how big them shits are, man. Fucking Bill fits in those pants, yo.
Nah, I hope your camera cuts off during this episode.
Bro, I would love to see that on film.
It's over.
Nah, my girl disrespected me, bro. My ass is fat,
Nah,
but
Devante, man, what's your opening take besides you now being fat?
my opening take for that night, besides the fact that those pants are like 4 sizes above me, what is Kyle Bloom, whatever his name is, thinking about? You know, we ended our year, 78 and, I don't know, like 150 losses. That's what it felt like at this point. After losing Xander Bogaerts and, you know, us just getting Kylie Jensen, whatever his name is.
Kylie Jenner.
I don't. That's what I like to call him. We just re-signed Rich Hill again. Rich Hill, whatever his fucking name is. And what was that Japanese prospect we overpaid for?
Yoshida?
Yeah.
Yoshi, yeah. Call him Yoshi. I don't think we're gonna have an even better year than we did last year. Like, I think we might just maybe.
It sucks because like Jensen, I think he used you guys as like his ride off into the sunset. Like he just used you guys.
Like,
he got like his He got his 3-year big contract. I think this is it for him. Like he's gonna retire after this, and he doesn't care.
Like, the
it was
guy's
just
not
sad.
in his prime, and we're gonna give him all this money for 3. Like, oh man.
Plus, you have so many other holes. You have so many other holes to fill.
That's what she said, but like, come on, bro. With Xander Bogaerts, like, that's such a big part. That's such a big hole in our rotation. Like, how do we feel such a?
You get Rafael Devers to hit more home runs.
You signed Carlos Correa. You signed Carlos Correa.
But I'm telling you.
What people fail to realize is Xander Bogaerts is the last Red Sox in our was the last Red Sox in our roster since 2012. There's no more. Like, this is the new age in the Red Sox, and you know, it was one thing. It was one thing losing Mookie Betts to the Dodgers, but Xander, and then, you know, we're gonna end up losing JD because they don't want to pay him. And it's just like, we're gonna be in 4th place again. Not gonna see. Yeah. It's gonna be just another rebuilding year. That's.
He's like, whoa, relax, bro. I got hope still.
You know what I'm gonna say.
Bro.
I was about to say that, you know, I was about to give up on the Red Sox, become a Padres fan. You know, and I was fully committed to becoming a Padres fan 10 minutes ago. But now that you said that, and I'm still very hurt that Xander is gone. Like, don't get me wrong.
That's an understatement. That's worse than DeGrom leaving.
I agree. If you go back to, I think, our very first episode,
Wulfy would agree.
I said my favorite player was Xander.
Of course.
And, you know, that's kind of like why I was gonna become a Padres fan. You know, like, other fans have become other fans of other teams because their favorite player left.
I mean, I'll go be a Padres fan with you. Juan Soto went there. Let's do it.
It could be worse. It could be worse. We could be the A's fans, and our roster's gone from 2 years ago. So maybe, I mean, I don't think we have a chance this year at all, but because there's still just too much fucking holes in the ship. But
you never know, man. You guys could just get a whole bunch of veterans again and just fucking do it up.
2013 again. 10-year
if they
anniversary of 2013.
if they get if they
Yoshida
get
hits
Carlos
40 bombs.
Rodon, then I mean, then maybe we have a chance. Like if they get him and he pitches really well, if Sale comes back, then maybe we have a chance. But
Oh my God, I
and
forgot
I
then
was
about
gonna
this.
say if you get like a good starter, like I mean, you need to spend money. You need either Evaldi or Rodon. You need a big bat like Correa, but then fill in like a gap with like either like a
It's
Benintendi.
way deeper
I mean,
than that though.
Benintendi
Like
can
you
honestly
it
don't
be
need.
a
is.
hat back.
That's the thing. Like it's way deeper than that. Like I think the
And
Red
Christian
Sox they
Vasquez.
don't need one starter. I think they need 3 starters. Like more guys out the bullpen. Like 3 guys in the lineup. This is deep, and it's like they're wasting time, and it's just I don't know
It's
Jansen. Like,
And we keep going back to this rebuilding phase. Like, I'm tired of this rebuilding
but
shit.
that's
I mean,
my thing.
like, Chris
My
said it could
confusion
be
with the
worse.
Red Sox is you're not gonna spend the money for Bogarts, but you're gonna spend a 3-year contract for Jansen. Like a
which doesn't make any
ridiculous 3-year
sense.
And
contract for
90
him.
million for Yoshi, whatever his name is.
Well,
And
that's
you know
all.
what's it's like a spit in the face because if you would have made that signing last year to get Jansen,
Or
then
even
maybe we make a stronger run into the season last year. Maybe we keep
not only
Xander.
that,
It's a
if we
spit
give
in the
Xander,
face.
the contract we gave him now at the beginning of the season or winter of last year, he would have been locked and loaded. There's no question about it. But we
Yeah.
want to wait till the
Yeah,
last minute.
we definitely got to do a Red Sox therapy episode. But let's switch from the Red Sox over to the Yankees. So the Yankees, they re-signed Aaron Judge. In my opinion, I think they better thank their lucky stars that Aaron Judge is a forgiving man, that he forgives the city of New York, that he forgives the fans,
The
that he
money.
forgives this shitty fan base. I don't
The
think it
money.
was about the money, because if it was about the money, I think he ends up in San Diego. But
Yeah.
Aaron Judge ends up in pinstripes again. What do you think,
I,
Devante?
I can't agree only because yes and no. No, being that at the end of the day, Aaron Judge was going to leave if the Yankees didn't offer him more money. At the starting price was what, 300 million, and he was like, no, I don't want it. It's not enough. Then when you come to here,
No,
other clubs
I think the starting price was like 200 and some, but on a
280. It was
shorter
280
contract.
actually at one
It
point.
was like I think it was like 210, but on like a 6-year deal or something like
Yeah.
that.
In the beginning of this season, it was like
Yeah.
213, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the price kept going higher and higher. At the end of the day, we all know, and he kept saying more than anything, he wanted to be a Yankee. But the price needed to go up. And how is that money gonna increase? He's gonna have to show interest in going to see other teams. San Francisco saying, "Yeah, we're gonna throw in 400 million," and the Yankees are like, "You putting me, against the wall now, buddy. Here, $80 more million. Now it's 380. 400 million, 380. But you get to play in the team that you got drafted into. You're the captain, even though people are now saying like, oh, if he comes back, he's gonna be the cap. No, like he was already the captain to begin with. Why are we discussing this? Like it makes no sense. But yesterday's price is not today's price, and that's exactly like no matter how they paint the picture or not. At the end of the day, Aaron Judge stood because the money was right there for them. Imagine if the Yankees stood at a firm offer of $320 million. There's no way in hell he's gonna stay a Yankee.
I think we're still waiting on Aaron Judge to sign if that's the case. But
Imagine if he does.
I think personally, I think you're right. I mean, he really wanted to be a Yankee, but at the same time, Aaron Judge, he got to understand his worth. I mean, he just hit like 60 bombs. He just had an incredible year, MVP. He is New York. Like I said, I'll always go back to that. He's New York.
Literally.
Like I'm really glad that he re-signed with the Yankees because he's New York. I mean, the Yankees need this because if the Yankees didn't re-sign Aaron Judge, I believe they fully fall the fuck apart, and that's it. And do we really? Do I really want to see the Yankees fall apart at the end of the day?
Yeah,
No,
of
because it's
course.
like
I wanna
I
see-
need. We gotta make fun of the Yankees. We gotta watch them fail.
I want to
every
see
year.
the city burn.
Right,
I'm a
we
Red
gotta
Sox
see them.
fan.
But we got to see that happen every year, not just this one time, and then
Every
they suck
year.
for 20 years.
Every
and then,
year. You know what it's
Yeah.
like being a Red Sox fan in New York, and all you hear is, "Oh, you're a Red Sox fan. What are you doing living in New York, motherfucker? Do you pay bills? Like, give me a home to live in Boston." But that's beside the point.
Right. But I mean, I think overall, I mean, you look at the Giants and, while it was cool, Steph Curry, the nice weather, Cali, that's as far as it goes. The team isn't good over there. They got lucky with that 100 win season. While yes, they won those 3 rings in 5 years. Did that culture stick? No. So I don't. I think he saw all that and it was just like, I'm going to be a Yankee. So now he's a Yankee, and I don't know. I think the Yankees need to do a lot more though, because if they think they're about to bring this bullshit ass team back and do this all over again, I don't think so.
That
So
depends on the baseballs, and if they
Yeah,
sign, I think they're gonna throw down. They threw a lot of money at that boy.
they need to do something. And also, I'll say this: I think they'll get Tatis.
Me too. I'm a firm believer of that. They're gonna end up trading him away. If and like
I think this Tatis and Padres relationship is broken, and I think this is perfect for the evil empire to become the evil empire again. Dish out a whole lot of bullshit, including Josh Donaldson, to the Padres for Fernando Tatis Jr.
Wow.
and Gleyber Torres, get rid of his ass.
Oh yeah, and all their prospects, all that too. But I
Look,
absolutely see
they're
it.
gonna get rid of
Mark it
Donaldson,
down.
Gleyber, Hicks, Clark Schmidt, and Green.
Oh, Peraza's gone. All those guys are gone.
For Tatis in New York. Ooh, it's a lot of money right there.
The evil empire becomes the evil empire again by getting Tatis. I promise you, and there will be a whole lot of strikeouts in the postseason.
You know how many?
Wulfy, tell us how you feel.
No, I agree with you too. Like, it's good to have Judge back with the Yankees. Like, I kind of thought he was going to go back to unless the Giants offered some sort of crazy $400+ million contract. But dude, he made like 150 mil more than what they gave him at the beginning of the season. But I don't know if they're going to do the Tatis thing. Just to quick go bounce off of that. Like, the only thing is that they would have to literally give up like everything. Like, Volpe's gone, Peraza's gone, every top Dominguez might even be gone. Like, everybody would be gone. Gleyber would be gone. Like, they would have to take Donaldson's contract, everything. The Padres might do it because they just gave up a haul for the Soto thing. Plus, that gets that contract off the books so they can re-sign Soto. But who knows? Dude, that'd be crazy if they did do that. But dude, they still have Donaldson, Hicks, no Benintendi, Rizzo, Trevino. I guess Gleyber starting. They have Peraza, Cabrera, and Volpe. I guess are playing. What the fuck is that team? You said in the beginning, or I don't know if it was in this episode or when we were just talking. Dude, Toronto is probably gonna beat them.
Yeah.
That team is stacked. My goodness.
If Bo Bichette... Yeah. No, you're right.
Only for them to get eliminated because of somebody getting speared in the outfield.
Dude, and because that one guy blew up in the bullpen. They give up, 7 runs in the playoffs? In that
because
one
of a
inning?
fucking spear in the outfield. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Dude, if they played the Yankees, who knows what would have happened. But, no.
Let's talk about the crazy-ass Mets.
Hell yeah.
So, the New York Mets, right?
He says,
the Mets,
"Hell yeah!"
They lost. They
Mets. The Mets are. You know what? I'll summarize the whole thing real quick, and then we can talk about it more. The Mets are going into the season once again, looking real good on paper, and we will see in October what happens to the Mets.
Will they even make it to October though?
Continue on.
I mean, you can say that about every team that the Dodgers and the Braves too.
So the Mets, they came into this offseason, they got the sad news that Rick Porcello retired. So moving on, they got Justin Verlander, Jose Quintana, David Robertson. They re-signed Brandon Nimmo. I'm probably forgetting a couple, but that was off the top of them. Oh, they got Kota Senga, Mama Panga. Jolly Ranchers. They got a bag of Jolly Ranchers, and a whole bunch of more false hope. Wulfy, why don't you lead us off with some New York Mets, just like the New York Jets?
Yeah. So it's I still think they're gonna do well like regular season wise because like let's not forget they still won 101 games last year. I think their rotation will be good if Senga is good. That's the big question mark, and health too. But I mean that's pretty much every freaking team nowadays. I think if everybody's healthy and like they'll be okay on the pitching side. The thing that's a little bit scary for me right now is the bullpen because we lost like 5 guys. We've resigned a few, like Robertson. I'm not super high on, but he seems okay. Like for like our 7th or 8th. The guy from the Rays, I feel like he hasn't pitched enough for me to be crazy about him. Everybody seems to like him, and then the guys we got from Miami are just like fill-ins. So I'm not high in the bullpen. But the thing that I'm a little worried about is the offense. Like we didn't really do anything to the offense, and that was one of the big problems last year. Like that Padres series, like dude, that last game we had 1 hit. Like I get it, Marte was hurt like in the year, and like guys were up and down. And I like the one thing I will admit is going to help is if we actually get Francisco Alvarez to start the year at catcher instead of like James McCann. But like other than that, like we really didn't upgrade our bats too much. That's why like I know I've been joking about the Carlos Correa thing. But, like, dude, we need, like, another bat in this lineup. We either need a good DH or we need these kids that are coming up to hit well. Because, like, as of right now, they're a good team. But, like, bro, they need some more power in that lineup. Like, they were 5th in runs last year, but, like, towards the bottom in home runs. So, like, add a power bat to that lineup. Like, I wish J.D. Martinez would hit, like, 30 home runs. Then I'd take him. But, like, I like the Mets right now. They made great moves, but they need more. It's not. Hopefully, it's not over.
I like the Mets' aggressiveness. I appreciate it. I just think, and I'm sorry, Wolf, this is not the hater in me. This is not the Mets hater in me. I promise it's not. I think you guys made all the wrong moves. I think you guys got like an owner with his head cut off, running around like a chicken, just doing whatever, man. I don't like this rotation going in. I know it's way too early, and who knows if the Mets even make the playoffs. Who knows if Senga's even good or bad, but I don't like this rotation going into the playoffs. First off, Verlander and Max Scherzer are some of like the worst playoff pitchers of all time, in my opinion. Well, not of all time, but like they have their struggles in the playoffs. Especially Max Scherzer. I mean, coming off of that playoff performance that he did last year, I am petrified of what this guy is going to do next season. Verlander also, it seems like he's going to ride off into the sunset with this contract, this 2-year, $80 million, whatever the hell this contract is that he just got. I could see him very easily becoming a little lazy, but at the same time, he's also not that good of a playoff performer. Kota Senga, we really don't know what he's going to do yet, but he's also going to have to deal with the pressure of being in New York now out of nowhere. Quintana, he had a good bounce back year, but is that going to continue? And then Carrasco, I like Carrasco, but obviously health has always been, the main concern with him. And then you got I always have told you I liked Peterson, and then McGill is McGill, but I don't really like that rotation at all going into the playoffs. I mean, I could be wrong because Verlander and Max Scherzer, they're legends, and it could be a situation where some old men really run it up in New York, and the Mets magic come out of nowhere. But I don't think the issue is the lineup. I really do. I think the issue is going to come from the starting rotation. That's definitely my opinion there.
I think if anything, they'll have a better year next year than they did this year, because now these 2 old ass pitchers have a chip on their shoulder. One got rocked and didn't make it past the wild card. The other
Verlander had a good World Series though.
Won a World Series.
Yeah, but
why would Justin Verlander have a chip on his shoulder? He won the World Series. He's banging his hot ass wife. He just got paid the bag. I'm telling you, if this guy isn't riding off into the sunset, I would be shocked.
Come on now. After getting rocked, he got rocked in the postseason. I know
he always does though.
He played well in his last start for the World Series. He played well.
Yeah, I was gonna say he actually had a good start. He did good in the World Series. It was the playoffs beforehand he didn't do too well. He didn't do terrible. It just wasn't great.
He wants it to continue. You don't want to go out like that.
Bro, he a
I
Hall of
mean,
Famer with 2 rings no matter what.
Of course, but regardless,
I
he
think
looks
he's.
up to Nolan Ryan. You already know that's already enough of a chip on his shoulder to want to be one of the best. I
I
mean,
don't
he
think he
already
has
is.
the pride to like not want to play well. Like he seems too like stubborn to like be like I'm just gonna shit the bed. Like I don't think.
Well,
Exactly.
I don't think it's
He'll
a
be like, I'm gonna win
situation
this
where.
NL Cy Young and go back to back Cy Youngs in different leagues and win
Well,
them.
I'm not saying like he's gonna sit here and like shit the bed, but I'm just saying I don't think he's gonna be as driven as you guys need him to be at the top of your rotation, unless you're gonna throw Scherzer at the top of your rotation. But again, I am petrified of Max Scherzer going into the
He,
season.
he's in a new team and he still has to prove. He kind of still has to prove himself. The same way he did from Detroit to Houston. And
Yeah,
look what he did in Houston. Cy Young, no hitter, 2 rings. Him at his age, he wants another ring and have more kids with Kate Upton.
I
I feel
bet you he's not gonna get erectile dysfunction until he's like 65. But yo, what's up, Chris? What you feel about the Mets?
I already told you how I feel about the Mets. The Mets, signed all these big names, making all these moves, looking like the Yankees. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how they play. Well, I'm
Wulfy's
not.
like,
No, because the thing is that like because the MLB chat said it too. And the other thing is like I don't understand. It's like the Mets go out and get literally the top names in free agency, and then anytime they do a move, there's always like a counter. It's like, well, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. It's like
well,
if they
like I
if they
said,
didn't get
Wolf,
Verlander, like who would they have got? Nathan Eovaldi?
I mean,
Like-
I thought Rodon was perfect. I thought Rodon was perfect for the Mets. He's hungry. He wants it. He wants to be the top guy in a top rotation.
Bro, he's pitched
Give it
one.
to him.
He's pitched one healthy season in like 5 years.
And that
And he
one healthy
literally
season,
shit the
I would
bed
buy
and had
a
a-
lot of stock.
Bro, you guys are talking.
and that's 2. He has 2 back-to-back healthy seasons.
Bro,
last
both
2
of
years, I
you got
believe.
both of you guys in here. Your thing wasn't about the regular season; it was about the postseason. One dude literally had a panic attack and threw a bat in the freaking dugout in the middle of the regular season because he couldn't handle pressure. And you guys think that's the guy we need in our team to go to the postseason? The guy had a panic attack in the dugout and hurt his own teammate. And you guys are like, oh, like the postseason. Like, bro, this guy couldn't pitch in nowhere San Francisco in like a.
Well, I mean,
on like
I'm
an
not
average
saying
team,
I'm not
like-
saying you replace Verlander with fucking Rodon. I'm saying like get Rodon. I'm just
let's
saying
just say
this right
if
here.
we didn't get Senga, I would 100% be on that board. And at the same time, we also don't know what Senga could do. But like, Verlander was basically replacing DeGrom. Senga was placing.
And that's exactly
Bassett.
what I'm saying is like you're basically the key to this season right now is if Senga is good or not. Which for the Mets, why are you leaving it up to that question mark?
Because
Is my thing.
yeah, but at the same time, it's also well. First off, it's a 2-year deal, so I think they're going to get Ohtani next year, but that's a different conversation. But at the same time, like Carlos Rodon's track record isn't actually like that great. Like he had an okay year. He did good last year with the Giants. Then he had like a half good season with the White Sox. And
Bro,
then
he's coming
before
off a
that-
back-to-back. He's
That's
coming off a
good.
back-to-back top 5 Cy Young years or top
Yeah,
5
like I
Cy
said,
Young finishes,
and
I
then
believe.
before that, but he's also had injury history before that. He's never done it for like a track record. Of
Yeah, but he's in his
6
he's in
years.
his prime. He's in his prime.
Shohei
And
Ohtani has had
Who,
Shohei
Verlander?
Ohtani started his career injured as fuck, but you guys were telling me that we got to pay him $600 million.
What'd you say? I'm
he
sorry,
definitely
you cut out a
deserves
little
6
bit.
at least.
Shohei Ohtani started off his first 4 years of his career injured, but he's gotten it together his last 2. But we're
Oh,
about
I'm
to
not.
give him the bag.
I'm not saying that like Rodon's
I mean, horrible
like, bad,
comparison, but
but I'm saying like to act like it's like oh my god, like dude, if Senga throws 102 and it comes in even like a 2-something ERA, like it's like yeah, you're right, it's a question mark, but at the same time, if he's actually good, you might save like $100 million. Plus, you only have him for 2 years. Like I'm not saying Rodon wasn't bad, but it's not like we got like a guy that's 10 times worse.
I think that's gonna work out for the Mets only because they literally have 2 of arguably the best pitchers in baseball. Like,
but is
Max
Max Scherzer that anymore though?
I mean, he was good.
No, I'm
last
talking
year,
about
bitch.
I'm talking about game wise. For them at their peak, well, they're at the end of the peak. All the years they have accumulated understanding the game, what they could teach him, while they are on their way out, he's on his way in. to show up for New York.
Imagine he just comes in and like Max Scherzer's just sitting there all angry and fucking growling and shit.
Dude, I hope they teach that kid. That would be great.
Verlander's just sitting there with like a smirk on his face. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
You know how
here?
funny that shit's gonna be because Mad Max likes to stare you down and just be like, and then their coach over there, they find it as disrespectful. They're gonna fight one time.
He doesn't know what eye to look
Nah.
at.
Not gonna lie, Wolf, you're probably right. Because if you pair Rodon and Max Scherzer in that fucking dugout, it's probably a whole lot of growling at each other. That'd probably be bad.
Plus,
But,
he's actually,
and Bryce Harper.
to my defense, though, I actually think, I don't know if you guys remember this. Remember I had that argument, like, episode 3 or 4, that I wasn't too high on Rodon. I was like, oh, he's like a 2. He's not an ace. So, like, it's been like a long track record for me. Like, I'm not hating on Rodon. It's just that, like, I'm glad.
Well, I mean,
with what
my
we
thing
have.
is, I always thought that Rodon had the stuff. It's just I needed to see the health. In the last 2 years, he's been pretty healthy, and the stuff is now like it's all just working. So, and I think personally, he needed to get out of Chicago. We know that the White Sox don't know how to take care of anybody. They're all injured all the time. They don't. It's bad.
That's a good point.
They fucking suck. I hate those guys.
By the way, something that is really interesting to talk about with the rotation that actually does scare me, especially if Senga doesn't perform well. Probably in the next couple episodes, I wouldn't even be surprised if it happens before our next episode. We're probably trading Cookie Carrasco. Him, McCann, and Ruff are probably going to be packaged for someone else, which actually can help the DH spot. If the ball depends who we get back. But then that's when I'm really worried because Peterson.
Wait, you said Carrasco, McCann, and Ruff?
Yeah, dude, that's what they just reported recently. They reported it like an hour or two.
Take that package in for.
I know. I swear to God, bro. I couldn't believe it. Like 2 hours ago, there's a report
to the Nationals for Steven Strasburg.
Dude, there's a report that's like multiple teams are in on Darren Ruff. I'm like, the guy that hit 120? Who? Like, who is in on him? Like,
this guy just keeps generating interest, Darren Ruff.
So they said that's probably going to be the package, and I'm like, I can't even imagine what team would take that. Like Detroit.
Right.
Like,
so moving on, the Mets. Speaking of the Mets, Jacob DeGrom. So Jacob DeGrom, he I guess he completely fell out with the Mets. He didn't even give the Mets a chance. Didn't even really return any of their calls. And he goes to the Texas Rangers. So he goes to the Rangers on a ridiculous 5-year deal. Wulfy, why don't you lead us off with that with your organic take?
Yeah, that's pretty solid. As much as I wanted DeGrom to stay, still got his jersey up. That was a solid move for Texas. I mean, like, bro, they've been going for it. They've been spending money the last 2 seasons now. Between him, Seager, and Simeon, they've dished out like over $500,000 or $500 million.
I forgot, yeah.
And granted, that division is still strong. That's the only thing I'm a little skeptical about. But it's better to do something than nothing. And they got their ace, man. I mean, God, I'm dying. Even with all the injury history he's had, they got the guy they needed to lead that rotation. Plus, they have other decent pieces in there, too. They still have Gray there as well. That was a solid move. I still think they need to do more, and I don't know if they're going to do too much more this season, but at least for, like, the next, 5 years, they're set up in a really good spot. And it's just good to see, like we talked about, these smaller market teams actually doing something. And they did it quick. They didn't mess around. They're like, we want him. Apparently, the rumor was, too, they even said to him, you're not allowed to go back. You have to take it now. And I guess they just made such a great offer to him that he's like, all right, I'm good to go. And, hey, maybe they'll be the next Nolan Ryan for him. Who knows? Yo,
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for once, I agree with Wulfy. He said a good team. I think
appreciate it. Bro.
I think the Rangers got significantly better, and they have tons of bats. I think they were positive run differential last year, right? And they were like one of the only teams that were negative in the standings, but positive in runs. So that's the first step. See what they do next. And I think I said before that they're going to win the World Series in 2025, and I'm going to stand by that. So here's to that. I did. I think I said Mariners, and the All-Star game's there. Yep. So the Mariners this year, And then the year
So
after that, the Rangers.
Plus, too, the
I
contract wasn't that much.
I
I
like-
think it was under 40 mil per year, right? 37, I think it was.
no, I think it
No.
was yeah,
That's pretty
it was
good, too.
somewhere around. Well, it was the fifth year that sold him. So I mean, for DeGrom, it's like why not take that contract? It was ridiculous. Like let me put that out there right now. That contract is ridiculous for Jacob DeGrom, someone that hasn't had a healthy season in a while, for someone that doesn't have the playoff experience. You're giving him a deal as if like he's whatever. He's Jacob DeGrom. I get it. I get why he got the deal, but I just don't think he necessarily deserved a deal like that, considering his health, considering everything that out there. But whatever. I see why the Rangers did it. You got to get primal. You got to get aggressive. You see the Astros continue to improve. Again, it's why I look at the Mariners and I'm confused, because the Rangers, they see the Astros improve again. Like, you're letting Yuli Gurriel go and you're replacing him with Jose Abreu. That's insane. So what do? They get Jacob DeGrom. And what I like about this deal the most is that they're gonna have Leiter, and they're gonna have Kumar Rocker come up and get the tutorship of Jacob DeGrom. I think that is the hugest part of this deal. I think that is the biggest reason why I like the 5 years. But the other reason is that, like you said, Wulfy, it's the Rangers getting aggressive. It's better to do it than to not do it. Why not get DeGrom? Why not throw him in the beginning of your rotation? If he gets hurt for the next 5 years, everyone thought it would happen anyway. So
But
if he's healthy, you got the next Nolan Ryan.
I just
Why
realized we
Did he
forgot
always-
someone.
Did he always get hurt? When did he always did he always get hurt at a certain point in the year, or was it always like just random?
Who,
not?
DeGrom?
He's just always been hurt.
No, he was good for like 3 or 4 years, but he had this problem last year where it was like this
That's the
weird
problem.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, it's hurting, but it's not."
Like,
But the
hell
problem is every MRI
Now you know
he's
what
ever
it
had,
is?
it wasn't broken.
You know what it is?
He was on that fucking
It's too
A-Rod
cold.
juice.
It's too cold. It's too cold in New York. Texas.
That
like,
wow,
But
that's an interesting.
But the
take.
problem was it was
Heat in
happening
the
in
bones.
it happened in July, so it's like, wouldn't he be warmed up? I don't know.
Well,
but
he
the
could.
thing is, he said it
Maybe
wasn't
he's
a
not
big
used
deal.
to. I don't know.
I also was gonna say,
I mean,
he
you
was
can't
one of
say
your
he's
guys'
not used to it. He's been in the team forever at this point. Like, he came up in that farm system too, and it's just like,
I think it's the fact
Suck it
that he's
up.
throwing too fast. I think he's throwing way too fast consistently because he threw like the most 100-mile-an-hours.
The thing is-
like,
DeGrom. If you look at DeGrom's body and belt, he's throwing beyond what his body's probably even capable of. In my opinion,
well,
you give him some 10, 12, 20 pounds of muscle, some little bit of like Bartolo's
they
arm
say?
fat, and throw it
you know
on
what they
him.
say? They say everything is bigger in Texas, so maybe he'll gain a little bit of weight.
Well, my thing
point.
about the Rangers.
I like that.
My thing
Oh,
about the
man.
Rangers also was like, why I get DeGrom, but why Seager and Simeon? I would like to see this money wrapped up in a different trio, but whatever.
They
Let's
could
see
use
how
some
it
good
goes.
bullpen.
So we're not going to
But-
talk about Adolis Garcia, a star.
And- yeah,
Well, no. I'm
yeah,
not. I'm
yeah.
just saying, like, the three players that they put all of their money into, like $500 million or $1 billion, whatever it is now. DeGrom, Seager, and Simeon. I'd like to see it be a better trio, with all the free agents that have been available the last 2-3 years. But it is what it is.
You forgot their
Correa.
best guy that they just got back this year, Martin Perez.
Martin Perez. How about
Everybody
a 19
forgot.
milli? 19
go.
milli for Martin fucking Perez.
Good for
Let's
him,
go.
man. Good for
Let's
him.
go.
He was solid last year.
Comeback.
He was.
Well, even like
he was
they need
stoked.
one more guy. Unless I'm forgetting
he
someone in
was.
their rotation. 'Cause
Well,
their
that's
top
the thing,
three
is, like, they're
Gray,
not-
Martin, and DeGrom.
And they got Heaney, and they got some other
Oh,
guy.
they got
What
but,
are
Heaney. They got Heaney.
but that's
You're
the
right.
thing, is
But
like they don't
Heaney's
have to do
fucking
too much with the
garbage.
rotation right now, is because they're waiting for Leiter and Kumar Rocker. That's gonna be their next big guys. So
I tell you one thing, they actually would have been dope if they got Verlander too. I don't know why, like Verlander just swaps over to the other Texas team, him and DeGrom back to back. That would have been great, but no, that's actually
Well,
not a terrible
Devante-
rotation then.
Devante, you got anything else to say about DeGrom?
DeGrom, a sellout. He should have came back. You know how crazy it would have been? DeGrom, Verlander, Shohei, Amapenga. What
I'm a
about
big.
Beast, beast that squad. Like, yo, that's really the evil empire right
I'm telling you, Shohei's gonna go somewhere, bro. I'm telling you guys this now, right? Shohei went to the Angels, and that was fucking weird. I'm telling you, he's gonna go somewhere weird. He's not gonna go to the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets or he's gonna go somewhere weird. I'm telling you, it's gonna be like the Pirates.
No,
Watch.
bro, that dude wants to win. I don't know if he's gonna go
The
to the Mets,
Diamondbacks.
there. Does
but he
and
wants to go to the
Diamondbacks.
postseason.
He's going to the
I don't think
Diamondbacks.
he's really gonna sign for a big contract. Like he, in my opinion, from the way I've seen him play, he don't seem like money phases him. Like
He's going
600.
to
Like he doesn't come with a Juan Soto take, and he's like, I'm worth $600 million. Don't talk to me. Don't even follow me if we're not gonna talk about $600 million.
the Diamondbacks.
But
I hope-
Sorry, I got some hot cocoa delivered.
I was gonna
to me.
say,
Merry
you
Christmas,
were
guys.
just going hard over there. No, dude, I would love to see that happen.
Peppermint
'Cause I
whipped cream
said-
topping.
Oh,
Peppermint?
that's snazzy.
Yeah, assholes
So-
gonna lead.
But bro, he wants to play in the he wants to play in the postseason.
As you
Yeah.
should. Yo, when you that gifted, who the
That's why I should
fuck
go to the
wants to play on
Diamondbacks.
The Pirates are gonna be the Orioles of this year.
Wait,
Diamondbacks.
You said the Diamondbacks?
The
I like
Pirates are gonna
The
be
Pirates.
Or we're gonna be what?
Oh,
The Pirates are gonna be the Orioles that were last year, but they're gonna be this year's Orioles last year, this year. Whatever that
You know,
means.
who didn't have a
I
good
can see
year.
that.
Was Marte's first name from the Diamondbacks? I always confuse his name from
Keitel.
Starlin. Keitel. Yo, Keitel's gonna have a breakout year.
Kettle One.
Yo,
Speaking of that,
Chris, you're right.
speaking of
Patrick
that,
Corbin.
the Phillies signed Trea Turner. It has nothing to
Oh,
do
sorry.
with
No.
we can tell Marte.
Corbin Carroll. Sorry.
So the Phillies signed Trea Turner. I'll give my first take because he's a former National. I like it, and the reason why I like it is because listen, man, you know when you're the Philadelphia Phillies, when you go on a lucky World Series run like you just did, and you lose because of pitching, and for the last several years in a row you lose because of pitching, it's nice to see that your division rival doesn't go after the pitching that they still continuously fucking need. So I like it. They put another big contract on the books. I think they got $1 billion wrapped up into hitters alone, between Castellanos and Real Muto and Harper and Schwarber and all these guys. I love it. Now, just like good old times, Trea Turner and Bryce Harper, they can lose in Philly together. Dilly, just like they lost in Washington every single year. I love it. But in all honesty, I don't really think it really does much for Philly because, again, they need pitching. I don't really understand who's running the front office there. I understand that you guys just had a really, good playoff run. But at the end of the day, you got to still wake up and face facts and get your pitching, which they did not do or still haven't done. I know they got time, but they didn't address the needs. They decided to just throw the bag at Trea Turner. And I get it. Trea Turner is a revolutionary player, but at the end of the day, it's just not what I think that they're going to need.
Yeah. They lost Gibson, Syndergaard, and Suarez already. And they only replaced them with Walker. So you still have two guys. And even then, your top three is Walker. Nolan,
Taijuan
and
Walker is like super shaky.
Yeah. Especially in the second
And you
half,
gave him the
too.
bag.
Dude, they need at least two more guys. That's the thing with the Phillies, man. Like, you're right, dude. Their lineup is fucking nasty when you look at their players. If they're all performing.
Right, and we know their run was because of their bats. Like we know that. Like that was obvious. Like their bats came alive, Harper came alive, Schwarber was hitting bombs, all this good stuff. But they lost because of their pitching.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dude, and it's crazy too because like their bullpen's not technically great and like you're two guys down. Like Walker, like as your solid third is not like I mean, I like Walker, but like especially in the postseason as your third, like dude, honestly, I don't see I still don't understand how the Phillies got to the postseason last year. They just went on a run. And like, dude, looking at even if the Mets because right now I still think the Braves are like the best team in that division. So if they're the best team, and say even the Mets are the second best team, Like, what are the Phillies? Like, are they still that third wild card team that's just going to hope they're going on another run? Dude, they need at least 2 more solid pitchers. And I think they lose Wheeler in like a year
National
or
League is
two.
in shambles.
I think they lose both those guys in a couple of years, Nola and Wheeler.
Carlos Correa, whatever team he goes to, if it's in the National League, that team is going to go to the NLCS. Watch.
You know who I can see the Phillies getting? Nathan Eovaldi.
Yep, I can
Nathan
see
Eovaldi.
that. I could definitely
'Cause
see
I mean,
that.
that's like another reunion. Old Sox reunions.
No, you know who they should
Happening in
get?
place.
They should get Carlos Rodon, and then you have Wheeler, Rodon, Nola as your top 3. Then you can have Walker as your 4th.
I
and then
think
whatever
they
as
should
your
just
5th.
enter. I think they should just enter the season with what they got.
I think Rodon is going to the Yankees.
I think they should too. I agree. Really shit.
So let's move on to the Padres. So they got Xander Bogaerts adding to this ridiculous lineup. Chris, why don't you lead us off with your take, because you were almost a Padres fan coming into this.
Yeah, I mean they have you, they have Blake Snell, they have
Not so Padres, Chris.
man. I mean they got some question marks so as to what they're gonna do at shortstop now, because Xandar said going into the offseason he wasn't gonna play another position. You guys alluded to a trade of Tatis, but I mean, what about Kim? What about Han-Sung Kim? Like, he played pretty well last year, so, and then you can't really move him to another infield position. So it's kind of maybe trade some of those guys and you get somebody. I don't know. Maybe they just keep spending because the Padres have made all these big ass offers. So one, they're trying to either show like Soto, like they don't care about money, they'll sign whoever they need to, or they're thinking like long term, like if Soto leaves next year, at least we got all these guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, who's to say that they don't go out and get fucking Carlos Rodon or just keep stacking up, paying more money because they're all. It seems like to me the NL is not worried about money, and like the only team that I mean the Braves are the Braves still have could still spend a lot of money, which they haven't yet. It's kind of weird because I thought Trea Turner was going to go to the Braves, but I don't know.
I'm telling
It's
you,
weird.
I think it's that Acuna issue that I was telling you guys about way before. I think again, I think it would rub that whole locker room the wrong way. You sign someone to a big contract and all those dudes are underpaid. I think they set themselves up for quite the big disaster.
Yeah, that was one of the reports too when they were talking about that earlier.
Because it's like you see some white dude come in with this big contract. All right, I'm done. But
I mean,
my opinion on the Padres is I love that they got Xander. Like you said, Chris, they do have some stuff to figure out at shortstop, but I do think Xander is your starting shortstop. And here's why I say that. I say that because they're gonna force Tatis to figure it out. They're gonna make him positionless. You're gonna figure out where you're gonna play, and I like that they're not succumbing to him. They're not making it like, okay, Tatis, what do you want to do? They're making it, we're getting Xander and we're picking this up whether you're with us or not. If you want to be with us, figure it out, find your role with the team. But if not, we're gonna keep this this beat going with or without you. As you can obviously see, we went to the NLCS. We did all this good stuff without you. We'll continue to do amazing things with or without you. Because if anything, I think they'll trade him and extend Soto. Or if Tatis comes back and he's really, really good, they'll have Tatis, and then I think they won't have the money for Juan Soto now. That's another issue that I think they'll have to look at in 2 years. But regardless, I love the trade, or I love the signing for the Padres. Think about what this sets up for them, though, when Tatis comes back. If Tatis is still in a Padres uniform, they're going to have Tatis, Xander, Machado, Juan Soto. Good fucking luck to every pitcher that faces this team once they are fully healthy and fully active, because I would not want to be figuring that out. Because now you're talking about you're going to have to give Juan Soto pitching, you're going to have to give Machado pitching, and you're going to have to give Tatis pitching. And I don't know Tatis could have a 50 home run season. I could see it. Even with missing 20 games. Even with missing 20 games. What do you think, Wolf?
No, I like the signing too, and to be honest, like it was kind of like even shocking too with the Judge thing that they were signing these guys for such big money, or offering it too, because they have the Machado contract, they have the Tatis contract. You know, Darvish is getting paid pretty well. They have Snell and Musgrove. Um, but the thing with them too, I think they also did some smart moves. Like they shed Hosmer's contract, so that actually opened up some payroll for them, which we didn't really think about too much at the time, but that was really smart. They also got their closer for this year already with Hader, so they're kind of set up at least with some parts of the bullpen already. The thing that scares me about that team right now is actually their starting rotation, because right now it's just Darvish, Snell, and Musgrove. They lost Sean Manaea. They lost Clevenger, which even though those guys weren't great for them, they're still a little bit shaky at the back end. What's up?
I said they didn't really lose too much with them.
Wait, also too,
Agreed. I agree.
did they actually sign Suarez from the Phillies? Is that where he went? I can't remember where he went. Whoever was Robert Suarez, who pitcher for the Phillies this year. If he
Imagine
went
they
to
sign. Well, that'd be wild.
that would be sweet. But dude, they're freaking. Well, as actually right now, it sounds like Tatis. There was a report that he actually might play right field, which is pretty weird. I don't know why, not center field. But yeah, if you had Tatis, Soto, Machado, Cronenworth, Kim, those guys alone, then you have Nola behind the hedges. Or
How you forget
Nola,
Trent
Boston.
Grisham? Can't forget the best.
Yeah,
Trent
Grisham.
Grisham. Stud.
No, dude, they're stacked, man. Like they're a good team.
Don't forget David Dahl. They signed David Dahl.
Wow.
I don't know if like the
Fucking
Dodgers are getting much better, but like they're a good team.
Only
They
Kemp-
could just keep getting better.
Padres, and that's what I'm saying. It's like they got the lineup. You know, they get maybe, like you said, maybe another pitcher. This
Those
team is
four,
spooky.
man. Dude, those four, like think about it. Soto, Machado, Tatis, Bogaerts, all back to back.
And then like you said, Devante, Grisham, right? Like you said, Wulfy, Cronenworth. Like guys like that are like surrounding these four are gonna
Kim.
have like benefit. Kim,
Yeah.
like Chris said, like guys like that are gonna benefit so much.
And their
Agreed.
catcher, isn't their catcher Jorge Alfaro, whatever his name is?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alfaro
nice.
or
Alfaro, and he was hitting bombs too.
Austin Nola. That's what I'm thinking of.
don't forget
That's
they
a
still
bunch.
got Luis Campusano, their top prospect. They still got him. They didn't trade him to the Nats. So
They're
They really
interesting.
want to be.
Because also too, they beat
They
the
really
Dodgers in
want-
the postseason. So if they played like the regular season and actually were better than the Dodgers once, because they basically beat the Dodgers once they had Soto. So if you have Soto and Bogaerts now against the Dodgers all year, that could flip that.
And
division.
Tatis. And Tatis.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
just
why
added
I
three
like-
guys. to
That's
them the
three
whole year.
stars. Not just
Padres
three
are a
guys,
team.
3 stars.
Yeah,
And the Padres are a team, I think, I'd say before they got, who was it? The Upton brothers and Craig Kimbrell, when they started doing a whole bunch of stupid shit like that. They were a team that we were like, why do they exist? You know, they're just out here just putting a whole bunch of stupid stuff on the field. Like they're just rotating, you know, players in and out of their organization every 2 or 3 years. And then all of a sudden they just started randomly going for it. They got Justin Upton, BJ Upton, you know, Craig Kimbrell, and then out of nowhere they're signing Machado, and now all of a sudden they're here because they just got aggressive and went for it. If any of these teams are listening to this podcast, just go for it. Follow the Padres' way and just sign whoever's available and trade for whoever's available and just do what you gotta do.
And it's crazy how much they ramped up after the All-Star game, because everything they did before the All-Star game, everybody pretty much wrote them out. And then to see how...
Well, yeah, I mean, because it's like they have horrible luck. That's the issue. Is that they're making the right moves, they just have horrible luck. And their luck is going to end when Soto leaves. Come back to
dude, if
Washington.
they had freaking Rodon.
Oh, yeah, he's going to come back to Washington.
I got the money for it. Sign
Buy
him, and
everyone.
y'all never get another ring with him ever again.
Well, Devante, tell us what you feel about the Padres and Xander Bogaerts and all that good ish.
I'm fucking devastated about Xander Bogaerts. Like, he's gonna wear an ugly ass uniform. That's the uniform I definitely don't want to buy.
I don't think they're bringing that back next year.
Like,
I think you're not talking about the regular ones, right? You're talking about them colorful shits.
Both.
But come on, the brown ones ain't that bad.
You hate. I don't hate.
I don't want to say I hate it. I just dislike like
Bro, they're professional UPS workers.
exactly.
That's
Someone's
actually-
got to do it in every
That's a
league.
good point. I never really thought about that.
That should be their City Connect uniform next year.
Bro, the
UPS.
Browns do it in the NFL, and then who does it in the NBA? Does somebody wear brown?
I
I
want
don't
to say
think so.
The Cavs do occasion.
Yeah, I mean, Bucks, not really. I mean,
Brown.
Brown. My
Either way, one team in every sport has to wear that ugly color.
I like it
Yeah.
because it's just so different. It's like Colorado, where like
Yeah,
they're like
but
the only ones that have
Oakland
purple.
got that ugly ass green too. That's beside the point. Devastated that Xander. I'm devastated that Xander left, but like, yo, that's a fucking team on paper you don't want to face. Like, this stack. And I have
Yo, I'm telling, like, if I'm any of these pitchers, I'm like, yeah, man, this hangnail that just appeared this morning, you see this?
Oh,
Wow, I'm out. I'm out
hurt.
this week. I'm out.
I hate
You heard it here first. DeGrom is not gonna want to face the Mets whenever they come to town. That's gonna be DeGrom's case. My back is blown out.
I
Pull
completely
your
agree
back
with you.
out. The Mets did.
He's gonna pull a Noah Syndergaard. I completely agree.
So the Padres, man, that's a fucking team to be. It's just it's just a matter of pitching for them because I'm a firm believer that if Manny Machado has another year like he did this year, he's yesterday's price. It's not today's price. I want more money.
Yeah,
He
no
might just
off,
even
though.
leave because of the money. Like, come on now, he's one of baseball's greatest villains. Why not?
And that's what I'm saying is if Machado gets that protection of Juan Soto, Tatis, and Xandar, oh my God, are we gonna see like a 340? Like we might see no shift for some of these guys. No shift for Juan
yeah,
Soto? Are you
shift.
kidding me? Oh my God, he can hit to all sides of the field regardless. But oh my God, this is about to be crazy. This is about to be crazy.
Yo, plus you can make the argument that the pitching he's facing in that division, which I never really thought about till right now, is way worse than what he was facing in the NL East. Think about it. He had the Mets rotation, the Braves rotation. Even the Phillies weren't bad last year, but now he has to go against Colorado, the Diamondbacks. The Giants have no one left anymore. Bro,
Yeah.
he's going to hit like 350.
I think he'll do. I think his transition will be better this time around as it was like when he first got traded because he was ass.
Yep, I
When he
completely
first
agree.
got traded, and then it picked up playoffs. He was fucking burning, but
I 100% agree with that. He's going to come out rolling this year.
So we got all these hot teams, doing good. Let's talk about some of the quieter off seasons here to kind of wrap up. So we had the Braves. Well, I want to kind of include the Astros in this. We know they got Jose Abreu, but they're a little bit different from the other two teams I'm going to mention. So the Braves and the Dodgers, they've had some real quiet off seasons. They haven't done too much, not as much as we'd probably expect out of
they
teams
lost
that
a lot of people.
two teams that really shit the bed. We kind of expect them, making the moves that the Mets have. Because what I appreciate out of the Mets is that even though I just sat here and said I didn't really like their moves, at the same time, they're still sitting here after a season where you win 100 games and you fail to achieve what you were supposed to achieve, which is a deep playoff run. You go out and you try to fix the issues. You try to change it up. You try to just not make the same mistakes. And it just seems like the Braves and the Dodgers want to just go back into next season and just put the same frustration on the field. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the quietness from them so far?
You guys want me to go, or
Penis.
Chris? Why don't you lead this one?
Penis.
I mean, for me anyway, I think the Braves are a little bit better off than the Dodgers are because they just lost Trea Turner. But
Well, the
you
Braves
still
just made a
have-
trade too. So
Got
What was the
3-team
trade?
trade.
For a
For
second, I
the
was almost
Sean
like, "Who the
Murphy.
fuck did they just trade?" That's right.
Oh yeah.
Sean Murphy. But I mean, it was also
we were
you're
just
getting
talking
rid
about
of
that guy.
Willson Contreras for Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy's kind of giving you the same production that you already have out of what's his face, Darno. So
Yeah, I
not
mean,
that
like,
relevant, but
another move for, in case of insurance
yeah.
policy for next year. But I mean, the Braves are like set for 6, 7 years. I think, they they got everybody locked up. They just need to. I feel like their biggest thing is they need to figure out what they're gonna do with what's his face, Azuña, and they got to figure out what they're gonna do with Acuna. So,
Cunha's
because one says they're not happy, one is out there, drinking and driving or doing whatever he's doing out there. But
Beating his wife, drinking and driving. This dude's a maniac.
this guy's wild.
And he's still in the major leagues, man.
yeah.
Actually, there's something I thought about too that you just mentioned about the 6 to 7 years thing. Because I kind of forgot about someone. Everybody keeps talking about the fact they lost Dansby Swanson, but there's 3 kind of major improvements they made that's going to help them this upcoming season. Michael Harris Jr., Grisham, both of those guys didn't play the whole year. They only brought them up like in the year. So if you have a full season of those guys, plus there's a guy that everybody keeps forgetting about, Ozzy Albies was hurt almost all last year. And if you have him for a full season now again, that's like improvements. I'm not saying like it doesn't hurt that they lost some guys, but they're not in like it's not like they just like lost like 10 wins throughout the year or something.
This division's wide open for the Nationals.
Dude, them and Miami are just
I
so
mean, I
far
don't disagree.
behind right now.
It sucks because a team like Miami, like they could swoop they could have like easily swooped right in if they just kept with the momentum they had from 2020 and just kept building that team that they had.
They
Think
just,
about if
they
they had
just
all
need
those
to
names.
trade. They just need to trade Sandy and let Sandy fucking play with a playoff contender. That's what they need to do.
Trade him to the Red Sox.
Like, I think all the other teams just need to come together and say, like, hey, you gotta fucking trade Sandy, like, to somebody. Like,
You imagine all
like-
29 teams just come at them like, hey.
like that's what they gotta be
Like
discussing
an
in the winter meetings.
intervention. Like they're all sitting on a table.
Like, just trade the
Marlins
guy.
walking
Like,
room.
just trade him. Like, trade him, trade Pablo, and trade fucking
For me,
Solar.
It's a real unfortunate situation with the Braves, though, with the whole Acuna thing, with the rumors now swirling and everything, him wanting more money or whatever the case may be, why he's unhappy. Because it's just like, I get it. I mean, the magic isn't there, I don't think, with Acuna and the Braves anymore. You go down with a major injury, your team should not do as good as they did after their star goes down. Like that should take the air out of the sails. But they win without you. It wasn't supposed to be disrespectful, but I can see Acuna. It's just not right anymore because it was kind of like Acuna was supposed to be the one guy that kind of like is the guy that brings Atlanta back to the promised land, and it wasn't that case at all. So I can see where it's just not the same. So, I can see why he wants to get out, but it's just unfortunate because Acuna's like a top talent. And if he goes somewhere else, I could see him absolutely just
going to the
wrecking.
Yankees.
To the Red Sox.
I like that. I hope so.
Trade
Imagine
them.
all this bullshit was just
them.
for the Red Sox to get Acuna. He's like, I've had this plan.
Like, honestly, like,
for decades.
like, I mean, we could trade them fucking, what's his face? Jeter Downs. Trade him fucking. We'll give him Marcelo Myers too can go too. That guy that just
let's not give the Braves all these good guys, man. Let's give them a bunch of trash.
Fuck it, give it to him. You know what? I think
that's
the Braves,
what I hate. They're gonna trade Acuna and get a whole bunch more loaded.
I don't think he goes anywhere. I think that they sit down, they say, hey, even though you played last year the whole year, you weren't yourself the whole year. So maybe this year, play safe, like be healthy and play really well, and more money's to come. Because it's not like they don't have the money. So it's like it could be also like they're setting these guys up with like livable contracts. I mean, they're not doing poorly, and then like it feels like they could say like, hey, play 2 years, 3 years, and then earn more money. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like that's a fair conversation that it's fair to both teams, like team and player.
Yeah.
It's like
So did come in hot to the end of the year though.
Man,
I was just thinking to myself, I had like a whole rabbit hole moment with myself, and I'm just here like, I hope Kyle Bloom is doing all of this just so we could get Shohei Ohtani. And if we did get Shohei Ohtani, I could forgive him. The whole Red Sox nation would go fucking crazy to have Otani.
Honestly, that's the only reason why any of this would make sense is that the Red Sox are trying to clear so much cap space that they can afford Otani in any scenario that presents. Like they're preparing for like his top offer to be like 800 mil or some shit.
Plus, they gotta pay.
Like,
I mean,
which is why they're not even paying Devers yet, just in case.
who knows? Like, oh man,
And change the name of the Green Monster and call it the
Like they're
Otani
gonna
Sox.
sacrifice everybody. Like they sell half
fucking
the
Godzilla.
monster.
It's gonna be Godzilla. They're gonna rename it to just Godzilla.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, whatever it takes.
They're gonna
man.
They're gonna. It's gonna instead of being a fucking wall, it's gonna be up like a fucking Godzilla.
They're gonna start canceling Chris Sale's
They're gonna
unemployment
change the
checks.
best pole.
Mascot's gonna change to a reptile.
Imagine.
It's gonna be like It's gonna be, but they're gonna have to change it to like, you know, they gotta change it to
A
like
dinosaur.
They're gonna
Miami
change it
around
to
the stadium.
They're gonna
But,
change it
um,
to
Put a swamp in the middle.
fucking Rugrats.
Wolfie, do you have any opinions on the Braves?
No, well, I was gonna say if it was the Braves are like I think they're fine. When it was like the Braves and the Dodgers not doing anything, like I was thinking about it because like the Dodgers have been winning games for like a while now. Like, bro, think of their lineup. Their lineup, honestly, like, are they gonna win 100 games again? Like, you still have Mookie Betts, Will Smith, Freddie Freeman. You lost Justin Turner, which I know it's not much, but still, he hit like 260-ish, 250 last year. You lost Trea Turner, which was huge. Bellinger didn't do much. He's not even there anymore. Chris Taylor, I think they traded mid-season, right? I think he went somewhere. Am I thinking of something?
He got hurt.
Oh, okay. But either way, like, I don't think their team is, like, honestly, like, that great anymore.
But their new
mean,
shortstop is listen, they have a trend. I think their last like three starting shortstops have all gotten ridiculous. their last three starting shortstops, which I think was who are they? I think I'm gonna need some major help here because one of them was Seager.
Hanley.
No, whoever they were. Their last three starting shortstops have all gotten the bag when they reached free agency. The next one is Gavin Lux, and I think he's going to be pretty good. I think that's going to.
Oh, you know who did
I like
terrible?
Lux.
Yeah, Lux I kind of forgot about. The one guy, you know what? I take it back too because it kind of, it's the same thing with Bellinger actually because he was so shit last year. The one guy that was so bad last year was Max Muncy. Bro, he hit because I had him in my fantasy team, bro. He hit like.
I don't expect that to happen again.
That's
he was
that's
also
a good point.
coming.
Yeah, exactly.
He was also coming off a major elbow surgery as well.
Yeah,
They
so
also
that's the
have,
thing with the Dodgers. It really is all depends on health too.
Yeah, I mean their pitchers were banged up all last year too.
Yeah, Walker Buehler will be coming back. I don't know. I think for the Dodgers though, you do got to get a little aggressive. I mean, the Padres are there. I think the Padres will really compete with them for the division finally again.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the Padres and what they do with their starting rotation. Because Wulfy, like you said, I don't really like where they're at with their starting pitching. I think if the Padres get another pitcher, the Dodgers should really start sweating when it comes to the division. But losing Trea Turner kind of does hurt them.
Who do the Dodgers have right now? They have Kershaw, say Bueller's healthy, and Urias. Is that it? Because I know
Trey
they
Turner
lost.
was one of the shortstops.
I think the Dodgers are going to sign Dansby Swanson.
I think so too.
Damn.
Because they also
Correa.
lost Heaney and Tyler Anderson, so they have lost a couple guys in the rotation. So I don't know. They're kind of in a weird spot right now. They're not like they're not bad at all, but they're definitely not like, oh my god, watch out, like what they were.
For sure. So, moving on to some quick hits here. So, I'm going to name these three players. You just got to give your quick opinion, and then we're going to move on. So, Cody Bellinger to the Chicago Cubs. Chris.
Good if he gets somebody else to share some of the stardom with. I think he needs a shortstop there with him, like Carlos Correa.
That's cool. I like that. Wolf.
I like the fact that they got him. I do think the price is a little high. It's like 19.5. But at the same time, that's what the market is nowadays. So if he does play well, it's worth it. If he doesn't, whatever, it's a 1 year deal. So I do like the move, though. They needed to, do something.
Devante.
I think he was a little overpaid, but at the same time, what the fuck do I really know? Um,
This is so nonchalant.
I think it gives Cody Bellinger a new opportunity to play for. Would you consider the Cubs being a small market team?
No.
No.
Not
I'd s-
probably not. It's weird. They operate like one, but they're not really.
I know. That's why I just I'm here like. How
Yo,
the fuck
imagine they didn't win in
Yeah.
2016. They'd be hurting right now. Hurting
Yeah.
for a squirting.
that'd be what, like 110 years drought?
Yeah, they'd be hurting for a squirting.
I think it just gives him a new opportunity to play outside of, LA, where it can possibly, bring a lot of pressure to him, change his style, and to just reestablish himself as, the superstar player he used to be.
Yeah, for me, I think he's gonna be high as hell in Chicago. Uh, he hits a lot of fly. I think Cody Bellinger was smart because he hits a lot of fly balls. I think that's his issue right now is that he's hitting the ball in the air a lot. It's windy in Chicago. There's gonna be no shift. I think if there's a team to go to kind of prove your worth, it's gonna be the Chicago Cubs because they're kind of a team where last year we saw their success at the end of the year. If they're a team that can make the playoffs, like squeeze in, sneak in, because I think the NL is kind of open at the very end. If they can sneak in and he has a good year, I could see him really getting paid after this. Especially, a former MVP that's still a top, center fielder in the league. I think overall it can be really good for him. But for the Cubs, I really don't understand. But fair fucks to them. All right.
It's only 27.
Josh Bell. Go ahead, Wolf.
I said he's only 27. I just looked it up quick too. So if he does have a
Which
good
is
year,
nuts.
going
You would have thought he was
27, 28.
washed.
Yeah, dude, he could get the bag still.
Yeah. And let's move on to Josh Bell to the Guardians. I'll give my first opinion on that. I overall really like it. I think we're all probably going to end up in agreement that this deal right here is good for them because they need that pop, and he provides that pop. I still think they need another hitter to complement that in their lineup, but this is a good start. Getting a switch hitter to go next to the switch hitting Jose Ramirez, I think it's nasty if this is going to be your 3 and 4, or 2 and 3, or whatever it ends up being. But overall, yeah, I like it. Devante.
Sorry, I got asthma. Josh Bell, I think it's a good fit for Cleveland, especially with the run that they had, and it adds more to the platoon, gives more leeway for Jose Ramirez, not having to carry the whole team on his back. He didn't really have to carry the team on his back this year, but it works in his favor and adds more to just that lineup, switch hitting. You're gonna have to pitch to these guys, and I think they're gonna have a better turnout this year than they did last year. And they were one game away from beating the Yankees. That's fucking crazy.
Right.
That pitching is only gonna get better, and if you get like 2 more solid hitters, I honestly think they'll go even further.
And they still got Terry Francona.
Like, the GOAT. You don't even need to mention him because we already know. Like
Wolf?
Yeah, dude, I agree. That's a solid trade. I think a few weeks ago we broke down like the Guardians stats and we realized they did need that power bat. So it's like a perfect fit for them. Also, too, if they weren't going to go out and get like the big contract bat, he was like one of those like next guys that was like the cheaper version of like those bats, which was a perfect fit. I agree. They still need to do more. Luckily, that division's still pretty weak, so I think they'll be able to take it again. But if they just had like a couple more pieces here and there, like their pitching staff's pretty good so far. Like if they got that close with the Yankees, who's to say like if they had like another bat or 2 more, they would be that good. It's funny because the Twins keep going on about it, but imagine like if Correa went to like a team like the Guardians, like that would really change that team. So anything's on the table, man. But this is a good start. They saw what they needed and they added to it.
For sure, Chris. Your Guardians.
Yeah, I think just like you guys said, it's a perfect fit. I think they need somebody like JD Martinez who can hit home runs because I
That's
think
perfect.
that's what they were, really lacking against the Yankees was the home runs because in one of the games they out hit the Yankees by I think like six, 7 hits, but the Yankees just hit more home runs than them. So, I think Bell definitely helps there, and I think they have now playoff experience. They're a very young team, so this year to see what happens with these guys in the off season with like more training, like Oscar Gonzalez who hit the big home run. Like let's see him in a off season as a pro. See what he does next year. So I think they need JD Martinez, and I think he's the perfect fit there. And I think that's who they need to go get.
Could always resign
I know.
Michael Brantley. That'd be a good
They al-
reunion.
they also need a outfielder too. So I think Brantley would be
Michael
a good fit
Brantley
too.
probably sitting back, just waiting for everything to unfold
Yeah.
and
I
to
can't believe
re-sign
he
with the
hasn't gotten a
Astros. Probably.
contract yet.
He
Word, which is so
he
fucking crazy. I think it's because of his injury that everybody's like,
hmm
Well, he's
yeah,
old, injured. He's probably just waiting until the end of this, and then he'll probably sign with the best team available.
David
he
Peralta
fits in their
too.
game. He fits how they play though. Like he's a high average fucking batter. So like that's exactly what the Guardians are. But I still think they need one more home run hitter, like one dude who could hit 30, 40 for them.
Wow, actually,
Well,
yeah.
tell me,
Oh yeah.
tell me what you think about Contreras to the Cardinals.
That's his idol. That's what he said. That's his idol. That's why he went there. I think it's a good opportunity for him too, though. Like he's got Goldschmidt and fucking Arnado, so like they got a big, quote unquote big three in the lineup now. So could be
Yeah.
interesting.
Wolf.
I think it was a great fit. It's kind of cool from the Cardinals' perspective too, because they literally didn't skip a beat. You just had like a Hall of Fame catcher for like 20 years,
You
and
go
now you're
from
literally
Yachty to
yeah,
Contreras.
bang, did not skip a beat at all. And like for
Got
them
better.
too, like yeah, and you got better because don't get me wrong, like we all loved Giaddi and he was still really
I
good
didn't.
defensively. Oh, all right, you did. Okay. One guy,
I
but
love them.
but bro, you're talking about adding like a significant bat in its place, along with like already having Goldschmidt and Arenado. Like that is a huge upgrade. That's like one of the best moves of the offseason, to be honest. And they locked him down too for years.
I think 7 years, right? 6, 7.
Uh, yeah, I think it was 6-ish, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Devante.
I think it's a good pickup, especially after you had Yachty, who did so much for the team, franchise player at one point. It's the new face of baseball, new generation, and I think he's just gonna add more pizzazz to the team since like Jotty towards the end of his career was pretty much more well known defensively than he was offensively, and now like Contreras isn't the best offensive hitting catcher, but he has the opportunity to now with two of the best hitters in baseball, which are Goldschmidt and fucking Arenado. So there's a lot to learn with the whole team, and
Yeah.
I think he's just a big addition. Like you said, it's a big three that is definitely going to be a problem one way or another, and knowing how that team is, they'll literally probably put them like back to back to back. And gonna have to face them.
For sure. I mean, I'll probably be the only one that's kind of like. I mean, obviously he's an improvement to any team. It's just the Cardinals. It's like, yeah, they got Arenado and they got Goldschmidt. I'm not sure if Goldschmidt's gonna be as an MVP caliber player again. That'll be remain to be seen. Arenado, Arenado's, in my opinion, he's one of the baseball's goats. But past that, you really only got now Contreras, and Tommy Edman, and then you got some question marks and O'Neill, and Dylan Carlson. Yepez is good, but it's just a whole bunch of question marks after that. And don't forget, their starting rotation is still led by Adam Wainwright, and that is just starting to scare me as the days go by. Like this dude is like gonna like throw. He's gonna throw a pitch, and like his arm is gonna go with the ball to Willson Contreras' mitt, and that is honestly what I'm scared of. And I don't know. I don't really believe in the Cardinals this upcoming year. I don't have them as winning the NL Central unless something they get more in free agency, and that's honestly how I feel about those guys.
Who do
I
you
do
have
not
winning?
believe in the St. Louis Cardinals, huh?
What do you have winning the Central? Brewers?
Oh, Pittsburgh. No, I do have the Brewers. Yes, I do have the
Okay.
Brewers. Yes. I mean, the Brewers, if they're going to keep their rotation and they're going to continue, it looks like they're going to continuously improve their lineup here. I like what they've done so far. I do think the Brewers are going to edge the Cardinals.
I agree. Let's just say this: their pitching alone is so freaking good. Their top three: Woodruff, Peralta, or Burns. Oh, that's way better.
Yeah,
than
and
the
Peralta's going
Cardinals.
to come back healthy.
Yeah. Plus, they were winning in the division in the beginning of the year.
And plus, Ashby should
And
get a
Hicks.
full year too as well.
Don't forget Hicks.
So,
Hicks
Yeah.
is the problem too.
You know
yeah.
what? It's just so weird. Like if the Brewers had Yelich playing like how he should have been playing, like I think they could still take the division. It's just they don't have that like couple star.
He doesn't
bats
have
like
the
they
protection of Ryan Braun. It's like, nah. But one thing that I don't understand why it's not getting a lot of attention is Joey Gallo. Damn, there's no shift. I hope this guy might be like the huge game changer. Like we don't even know. Like we might
This
be
is just
seeing
winner.
whoever gets this guy might end up like winning the World Series because he hits 400 with like 50 bombs or whatever the case may be.
Guy's just
He
the
might be
winner.
the next Barry Bonds because there's no shift. Like we're gonna call Joey Gallo a cheater because
He's gonna be the new
fucking shift.
Adam Duvall. That was his name, right? From back in the day.
Huh?
Adam Duvall. That was the name that he went crazy for the Chicago White Sox, and he changed all of baseball.
Oh,
He
you
was either
think
strike up, walk.
Adam?
Adam Dunn.
My bad, yeah.
Adam Duvall.
I'm like I don't really remember too much about like
I know it was
legacy.
Adam with the D.
That'd be like
But,
Conforto.
yeah.
Conforto will be in the same thing as Gallo, where like if there's no shift, he could be valuable too.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like Gallo, he had at the end of the day, he still is leading all of these free agents with a 4.8 WAR out of left fielders.
Yeah, I
And
saw
he didn't
that. That's
hit
so weird.
a lick of shit. He didn't hit a lick of shit. So, my thing is with Joey Gallo, it's like I feel like these teams should get into a bidding war. I mean, like go to the Nationals. Fuck it. Bring us to the
Nationals.
World Series.
I agree.
I
man.
mean,
Joey Gallo probably won 125 games last year. So
that's true. That's also true. That guy, as depressed, he depressively won a lot of games. He was just depressed and winning baseball, and then went to the Dodgers and got his heart smashed. But do we got any?
That's how I feel about losing Xander Bogaerts, and I hope we use this photo and like whenever it comes up in the video.
That's great.
That's fair enough. And with that, we're gonna leave it there. Red Sox fans all over the world are heartbroken, but I promise you, they're clearing all this cap space for nothing because if it's not for Shohei, it's going to be for somebody. We promise. Even if it's a deal in 2030, you guys are going to get the top free agent at some point. Don't worry. All that money is going to be for something. Even if it's to build a second monster, if it's to make a bigger monster to stop Giancarlo Stanton from hitting home runs, whatever it is, we're here for you, Red Sox fans. Thank you for tuning into the Built Different podcast. This is another edition of High and Inside. I'm your host. These are my other beautiful hosts. Thank you
where
for
the money's
watching.
going?
Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Belgium, all that good stuff.
money's got to be going to Manchester United. That's where it's going.
That's a good point.
Make sure you guys are watching the World Baseball Classic. We'll catch you in the new year, baby.
Peace.